Okay, good morning, everyone again. So, can I know the progress that you have got up to now? Because the last evening we have ended the session uh, with the network configuration. So, according to the agenda, we have to do today the PF Sense firewall setup as well in the evening session. But before we move to the PFSense setup, we have to finish all the settings that required in the network diagram. So I have got few calls last night as well. So I believe they also has resolved their issues. So if you can give us an update on the progress of your work, um, it's good to move forward. So okay, I have got some messages. Only two VPCs pending to troubleshoot. Okay. If the inside XP and fewer VPCs are connecting, it means almost okay to continue with the PFSense setup. Um, but you have to check the connectivity between the switches. Uh, 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 so, can we get a feedback from you all? If you are still working on the network diagram, if you have any issues, please let us know. And if there are any pending works you have to do, if anyone can share the screen, we can assist you with the uh, other configuration that you have to do if you miss something. Any update from your side, please? Yeah, monitoring server and web server configurations are pending. Before we move to the servers, we will finish the network configuration. If you can ping from the inside XP to the gateway IP address, most of the time your configurations are working. If you have got up to that level, it's a good sign actually. Then you can ping from some few VPCs and check the connectivity. Almost, I believe, if you can ping from the Windows XP, other devices are also working. So how many of you have got the connectivity between Windows XP and the Windows XP's default gateway? If you can ping to the Windows XP default gateway, uh, just let us know. Okay, XP Inside working. Okay, I have got one reply. Guys, it's better if you can give us any feedback. Okay, I got another reply. Windows XP Inside working, good. What about others? Okay. Can ping Windows XP Inside to gateway. That's good. Loading the topology file and shutting down. Uh, uh, you can try, you have to close Dynamics again. Close the Dynamics and run the Dynamics again, and then the network file again, and see. You maybe because there may be some services that are running that may be conflicting with your diagram. So normally, with our experience, we know that if you close the Dynamics 1 or 2 times and try to restart the Dynamics and the network file, it will work. You don't need to change the IP address of the Windows XP. I will share my screen and I will show you. Okay. Uh, so this is the Windows. Now you can see I have loaded the Dynamics and the network file. So, and here from the VirtualBox, I am running Windows XP Inside. So after you switch on the Windows XP, you can check the IP address. The IP address has been already given 10.1.32.10, which is the part of VLAN. According to your diagram, it is a VLAN 30 PC. You can see here, Windows XP Inside is a VLAN 30 computer, and it is connecting to the FAC1 BLD2 layer 2 switch. It's an unmanageable switch. From that one, there is an uplink to the FAC1. So, uh, uh, so in the FAC1, we have created VLAN 30. If you remember, now we can access the FAC1 using 127.0.0.1. The port for FAC1 is we are running in for 2000. So here you have to type 2000 and telnet open, and this is FAC1 router. So enable password is Cisco. So if you view the show IP interface brief, okay, you can see here the VLAN 30. So VLAN 30 IP has been given here. So if you go through your configuration, you will see you can use the same command. Okay, you can check the IP addresses that you have assigned in the FAC1. So VLAN 30 has got IP address that is 10.1.3.254. It is the SVI, switch actually virtual interface that we have created in the FAC1 router. So that is the IP address that we have assigned as the default gateway, because this computer is a part of VLAN 30. We have to assign the virtual interface the VLAN 30, whatever the interface that we have created in the FAC1 for VLAN 30. So according to that setup, the Windows XP machine need to have so you don't want to change the IP addresses. When you check the IP address, we have already configured that one for you. So here you can see 10.1.30.10, and this is the IP address which represent the VLAN 30. Okay. So no need of changing IP addresses. So you can reach to that FAC1. Okay. If you are connecting to the FAC1 means if you have assigned the other IPs for the, so these are representing VPCs, virtual PCs, virtual PC 1, 2, 3, and 4, and virtual PC 5, 6, 7 likewise. Okay. If you check, if you can ping from PC 1 to PC 2, PC 2 to PC 3, that's enough actually. It means that you don't want to ping and check for each and every PC. If you can ping from Windows XP to another virtual PC, or from another virtual PC to another, that's enough. Okay, it means it's working, routing is working. Okay, you don't want to check each and every device whether they are pinging each other. Okay, but at least if you can ping from PC 1 to PC 2, PC 1 to Windows XP, and PC 1 to the virtual interface that we have created in the router, any VLAN IP you can ping, because the OSPF routing is working inside the network diagram. So you must be able to reach any of these IPs. Okay. So if you can configure up to that level, it means we can go forward, because the next session we have allocated for pfSense firewall setup. If you can come to the FAC1, only you can go from FAC1 to the pfSense. Okay, so that's why that configuration is needed. Okay. When you are joining to the session, always better to use the name that you have used for registration. Otherwise, we can't identify you individually, because we need to get the attendance as well. So if you are using nicknames or funny names, you better rename that to the name that you use for the registration. To check whether your VPCs are connecting, you can use the VPC simulator. So we already done this part yesterday. So if you have saved your configuration on the VPC file, you will see all the IP addresses will be loaded. Now I have ping from PC1 to PC2. If I explain that one using diagram, this is PC1 and this is PC2. So here in virtual PC, I'm in virtual PC1, and I have ping to the PC2. You know, the prompt is VPC1. It means I'm inside the PC1. I am pinging to the PC2 20.1. So you can see it's working. So it give you a kind of a idea that your network is working without any issue. So this is what we are expecting from you to do. If you want to go with the firewall and web server and even monitoring server setup, so you need to complete up to this level. If you have followed the instruction we have given on the web page, I believe this should work, because you saw that last evening I have worked with uh, I can't remember his name actually. He has given me a huge support. So we configure that, and you saw the results were there. No? So uh, if you have any queries, please let us know. So we will help you to configure the network up to this level. uh, if you lost the configuration of the VPC, the reason is you haven't saved that one. Okay, there's a command called save. After you assign the IP address, you have to type save. Uh, okay, fact one and fact two are not connected. Cannot connect to BLD router. Please make sure that you have using the correct port and select telnet in the party. Sometimes uh, you may forget to select telnet there. Default it select as SSH. So double check whether you have selected the correct port. It may be 2002. Okay, 2002 port, and I'll select telnet from the party. So if you correctly selected the ports on the PuTTY, all the 3 routers need to be work like this. Okay, so FAC1, FAC2, and FAC3, FAC BLD FL2. So make sure when you connect, type here 127, and from the Dynagen, check what is the port. Okay, now BLD1 is using 2002. Other switches don't try. Yeah, others you can't connect. Other switches, they are unmanageable switches. So here now, if you're going to connect to the FAC1 BLD1, the port is 2002, and you have to select Telnet here. The selected one is SSH. So you have to click on other, and remember Telnet should be there. Then you can, so okay, then you will get the prompt. Make sure that you are not going to close the Dynagen while you are working. The SNMP location, no need to change, because that is just something that is like a description. Okay, we are just putting where the SNMP server is. Now, if you look at the diagram, SNMP server means actually the web server, monitoring server. So monitoring server is located at faculty 1. So it is connecting to faculty 1. So no need to change it as faculty 2, because you can see in the diagram also, SNMP server means the LibreNMS monitoring server. So you don't want to change that one. Okay, you can keep it like that.
Hello?
Hello, yeah. We can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Uh, Building 1 is running in the Dynagen, but only
So, sorry, can you repeat?
Fact 1, building 1 is running in the Dynagen.
Uh-huh.
1, Fact 2 also running.
Uh-huh.
Only Fact 1 building not connected to PuTTY.
Okay, can you share your screen? We will we'll check is there any issue. Okay. Can you close this the putty window which is in the front of the desktop? Okay. There are 3 putty windows. Okay. You had to keep Dynagen and Dynamics. Okay. Can you open the putty, please? Okay. In that one, now we are going to connect to 127.0.0.1 and port 2002. Open. Click on the window and enter. We will try to get to one prompt. After that, we will try. Can you enter on that one party window? Click on then enter 2 times or 3 times. Even you enter, the prompt is not coming. Now it's there, no? So you have to enter. You have to type the enter key. I believe something wrong with your keyboard. Now you can see the prompt is there, no? Feels like some one of your button has continuously pressed in your keyboard. So after loading the putty window, you have to click on the putty window and enter 2 or 3 times. So then you will get the prompt. For the other routers also same. Can you connect to the 2001 port 2000? Select telnet. Select telnet. The port number is okay. Select telnet. Open. Click on the black area and enter 2 or 3 times. Here, now you got the prompt. I hope your problem is resolved. Is it okay, Mr. Damayanti?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, if you want, you can continue working while sharing, or you can close the sharing. Can you show me? Okay. Is there anyone who want to share the screen and troubleshoot? So I believe others are continuously working on the file. So because we have to start the pfSense session, you need to complete this one. So if you have any problems, let us know. We have some time to get started with pfSense. So please continue working and finish the rest of the configuration. While you are working, if you come up with any issues, please let us know. Because without completing this section, we can't move to the other section. if someone can share the screen and if we can continue the configuration, that's better because last evening Vijay Kantan has given a good support for us because everyone has uh, viewed his screen and they have got a kind of motivation by looking at that one because he has done it in that limited time. So if someone is still working on that one, please voluntarily share your screen so we can discuss and do the configuration so it will become helpful for the others as well. Okay, if you can ping to at least 1 to 5 PCs, that's enough. Uh, okay, someone has shared the screen. That's good. Okay, Kohulan, we can
Yeah.
see your screen. You already configured the Cisco configurations.
Cisco configuration is completed. Up to now, Windows XP PC5 still now pinging. Others, PC6 or PC7 still not ping.
Okay, you can ping to the gateway, no?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. It means you have already configured all the Cisco configurations.
yeah, Cisco configuration is completed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Then
At the moment, unable to ping the VLAN 60 or VLAN 70. What's the reason?
VLAN 60 and VLAN 70.
70 and VLAN 80 also with the inside Windows XP inside PC.
Mm-hmm. From Windows XP to VLAN 60. VLAN 60
Yes.
mean you have to ping to the faculty too.
Faculty too, yeah.
Yeah. Kohulan, you have used now according to the instructions given, uh, if you change the value for the XY into different values,
Yeah.
there may be a issue. If you have used 10.1 for the entire, so what is did you change the IP address of the XP machine?
Yeah.
You change it to 7.
7, yeah.
Uh,
Windows XP 10.7.30.10.
you change that one, no?
10, yeah.
Okay. Let me check. Mr. Kohulan?
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Yeah. Can you go to the fact 2? Yeah, you are in the fact 2.
back to that.
Yeah. So can you run show IP interface brief command? Yeah, go down. Yeah, more. Yeah. So VLAN 60, 70. Okay. There's a problem with that one. No, sit down. Go to the diagram. Now it's connecting to all the PC VLAN 60 and 70. PC 6, 7, 8. So you go to the port FA10 on the router. Fact 2 FA10. Fact 2. Yeah. In that one, go to the configuration mode. Interface fast Ethernet 10, no? 1/0. Is it? Check the port.
10, yeah.
Okay. 1/0. Yeah, 1/0. Okay. And execute the command switch port mode trunk. Switch port mode trunk. Enter. And switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q. No, switch port trunk. Switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q. Enter. Okay, because that switch port is connecting to another switch one. You have to make it as a trunk. Yeah. So now can you go to the Windows XP and try to ping to that Windows? Yeah, we'll see, because the routing also need to be working. Okay.
Now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so anyone can share the screen now. He has already done the configuration. Now it's almost working, no problem. Kohulan, you can continue with the rest of the configuration with the pfSense and the LibreNMS. You can do, no problem. You have the connectivity.
Okay.
So okay, so anyone can share the screen that who is still working with the Cisco devices. So it become kind of helpful for others. Up to now, only 3 participants share their screen. Okay, so thank you very much for that support. Anyone else can share the screen while you are working, so we can give some support as well. There are nearly 50 people. Yeah, web server, we will wait. Okay, we will wait because web server also need to be working, but web service connecting to, I believe, if you check your diagram, web service connecting to the firewall. So if you are trying to connect to it using Windows XP or something, you are not gonna success. But web server, if you want username and password, it is on the website. You can refresh the website and you can see, I think it's W user and there's a password given. So if you want to log in with the console, you can use that username and password. But if you try to log into that one using Windows XP, you will not going to success, because you have to go through the firewall. monitoring server, you have to set the IP address. So those steps will be explained on the monitoring server setup. Monitoring server also have a username and password. I think it's user, and all the login details are given in the website. To connect to the monitoring server, you have to assign the IP address. So if you correctly assign the IP address, I believe you can ping to that one. Okay, the IP information is in your website, I guess. So monitoring server, yeah, you have to enter IP address. Okay, then only you can ping to that one. If you have any issue with working with the net plan or YML, when our monitoring session is going on, the instructor will help you to set the IP address. So until then, if you are okay with setting the IP address using the net plan, you can use the script given in the website. Until then, you can try with the other setup. Fail to open session. What you are saying is not clear. Did you are trying to telnet or SSH into the web server or monitoring server?
No, it is open VM file.
Yeah. When you
When
open
the VM file, VirtualBox file, it says when double click the VM file, says fail to open session for the virtual machine.
It means there is a problem with the VirtualBox.
Sorry?
It means that there's a problem with the VirtualBox.
Yeah.
So when you, without double clicking, you go to the VirtualBox and it's better to use the toolbar and try to open it. Maybe that may be, I don't know actually what is happening there because it's in your computer. It should normally, if you have Windows XP, it's working, no?
Yeah, it's working now. And web, sorry, can I try the Windows XP DMZ file?
Yeah, DMZ file also, you better without double clicking, if you can go to the VirtualBox and use the toolbar and do it. I think you have to import or open that file. It should work because you try it again and let us know. After opening the VirtualBox, try to open through the VirtualBox.
Okay.
Geetika, I'm also getting the same issue when I trying to open the pfSense 2.6 from the VM box from the arrow click on the toolbar, it's normal start. I also getting the same message, but others are working properly except this pfSense 2.6.
So you are running, how many devices you are running actually? It means all the VMs are,
Yes, the Windows machines are properly working. We can get it into the console, but I will not be able to receive the pfSense only.
can you just suspend the other devices and try it again? If you are running multiple devices in the virtual box for the
No,
moment. No.
currently I have already shut down what are the others in the VM box. Only the pfSense is trying to open it. There is no any other machines within this list.
Okay. Is there anyone also getting the same error? So we can come to a common issue then. So let me check. Okay, did you install this extension pack as well? You have to use the latest version and the extension pack. Can I get any feedback from you? Did you install that extension pack as well?
No.
I can't exactly say the issue because of the extension pack, but it's better to use this extension pack as well, because if there are any issues with that one, because what we have installed with that one, so that is why we have mentioned that here. Mm, depending on the configuration on you have used the latest version, no? VirtualBox.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it says the error could also mean that an incompatible version of Oracle VMbox extension pack.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you better install that. That is why we are mentioning here, because sometimes because of some issues this can be happen. So you can easily download and install this extension pack and try again. And if
Okay.
the error is there, let us know.
Okay, Giri, thanks.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Is there any special place to keep VPC files?
Actually, if you can keep in the same place, that's better, because when you download the files, the VPC, we have created another folder for VPC. Inside that one, you can see VPC exe file plus another DLL file. You better keep it like that, because if you move that to somewhere, there can be some issues. Okay. those can be resolved, but troubleshooting will take some time. That's why we have keep those things separatedly to it make you very easily work on that one. If you can work with the same folder, that's better. If you're going to move it here and there, sometimes troubleshooting will become somewhat difficult.
Okay.
And the other reason is when you save the VPC configuration, those will also going to save in the same folder. So you will see some VPC startup and VPC history, something like that. Two files will also be going to be created on that the same folder.
Is there any
Yes, Mr. Damayanti.
NetGen, the net file, is it there, that location? For
Yeah, net file need to be in the same location because
I mean,
once you extract it, it will be as we instructed you, it should be on the C folder, C partition. I think that is okay because previously I logged into we checked your one, no? So the Dynagen file is working, and we could connect to the routers as well, no? So it means there's no any issue with your network file.
everything is okay. Now I am going to program the PCs. So PCs, is there any entry in the net file about that VPC file location?
No. There's it not needed. In the net file, the location is not the VPC folder path is not included in the network file. In the network file, what we have done is when the VPCs are opening, they are using some UDP channels. So what we have done is we have mapped those UDP ports through the Dynagen network file. So when you switch on the VPCs, they are using some UDP ports. Those UDP ports are mapped into the Dynagen network file.
Okay.
Okay. Usernames and password for the monitoring server and web server are given here. So if you want to use the console access, you can use this username and password for the monitoring server. and the web server. fail to open a session with for the VM, you better install this extension pack. We have given the instruction when you're downloading the VirtualBox, use the latest version. Plus, you have to install the extension pack that comes with the VirtualBox. Okay, guys. I hope now you have completed the network setup, because the issues that you have forwarded to us we have resolved. And make sure that all the VMs are you have downloaded all the VMs. So if you go to the VirtualBox, you need to see Windows XP inside, and pfSense 2.6, Windows XP DMC, and the monitoring server. So those are the devices that you need, even though you can see more than that in this one. What you need is Windows XP, pfSense 2.6, Windows XP DMC, and the monitoring server. Okay, and make sure that we have given the instruction here. You have to follow the instruction very carefully, because otherwise these devices will not communicate with your network. So now we have given about the information about pfSense VM. So as example, you have to check, you have to go to the settings here, and the most important part is networking part. Okay, and you have to check whether the adapter one is connecting to your LAN network. Okay, now in the instruction page we have given the idea that we are recommending to use wired network, because there can be a kind of a issue with the VirtualBox. Okay, because we have experienced that issue in some time. If you select your if you are using wireless connection, sometimes this wireless connection will not going to be bridged. That is not a that is not a problem with that. That is a problem that comes with the VirtualBox. So if you are having a wired network, most probably it will be bridge. Okay, so you can try with the wireless as well, because in the pfSense workshop, the according to the diagram, if I explain, Mr. Dushmanta will explain further. If you go to the pfSense setup, the adapter, the one of the adapters need to be connected into a router, ISP router. So the IP address for this interface, or the we call WAN interface, will be taken from your router. So this interface need to be bridged to the local network because of that. So your router need to assign IP address to the pfSense WAN interface. Okay, so if you are bridging this interface into wireless, there is a possibility that it will not going to be taken IP address. In that case, you have to use a wired connection to obtain IP address for the WAN interface. So that is why we have recommended to use a wired connection. Only for that interface, this issue is there, but it is needed. Otherwise, you can't go to the internet. So pfSense VM comes with 3 network cards. One need to be bridged into your local network, and adapter 2. Adapter 2 is a UDP tunnel, and you have to make sure that these settings are correctly included in your generic properties area. So you have to enable the network adapter. 99% I am sure that these things are already done for you. So don't change. Okay, don't change anything here. Just check whether these informations are there, because in the network setup, lab setup, all the instructions are given here. So we have included these things, but you better double check whether these configurations are there without changing anything. Okay. Only thing is you have to change here, because the bridge adapter need to be changed. Okay, because it is depending on your computer. The adapter, physical adapter, can change. Okay, but other things, adapter 2 and adapter 3, the both are using UDP channels. So these things need to be there. Okay, so that is the things that you need for the pfSense VM image. And for the Windows XP, now you know it's working. So Windows XP DMC again you have to check the network setup and check the adapter is UDP tunnel, and these informations are reflecting with the setup. Okay, so web server VM, can go to settings. Password for the VM also in the description area, but the same thing is in the website as well. So here you can go to the network, you can see the UDP information. Then DMC settings, network. Okay, then monitoring server. Please double check on that one. It need to be connected with the UDP channel. Sometimes this information may be not included in your VM because we have intentionally keep that one to fill by you. If it is not filled, remember you have to select here generic driver, and you have to include this information. Okay, all the informations are given here. Okay, so only for monitoring server there is a possibility that we didn't include these settings because user to experience how it is connecting, it may be empty. If it is empty, you better include them for only for this monitoring server. Okay, so that is the things that you need to have to continue with the rest of the setup. So if you have experienced any issues with the VM setup, let us know. Some participant has got some problem with the I believe you have seen the issue error because there is an open session, failed to open a session for VM, that kind of issue. So after you install the extension pack, okay, that problem has been resolved. Okay, so when you go to the VirtualBox website, you can find the extension pack there. Okay, this one. Okay, this one also need to be installed. So those are the things that you have to do before we move to the pfSense session. So is anyone having any problem with the VMs? Then if you can get it resolved now, that's better before we start with the next session. So those who are unable to install the extension pack, so this is where you have to do that one. You download the extension pack and you can go to the tools, and there's something called preferences in the tab and extensions. Okay, so you have to add here. There's a plus mark here, so you can click on add and you can give the extension pack you downloaded and open. So it will install the extension pack. So make sure this extension pack is installed on your VirtualBox, so it will minimize the side effects that you are having. And there's another thing that we have to inform you that you don't want to switch on all the PCs at once, because you know that we are working with a limited memory. So now all the routers are in the working, because you have to make sure that Dynagen also running for the entire time, because that is where the network is functioning. So Dynamips and Dynagen and PuTTY, all those things need to be run, because that is the network setup. While you are running the network setup, we have to continue with the pfSense and monitoring server. So don't close Dynamips or Dynagen, then the network connectivity will lost. Okay, so those things need to be run separately. So while you are working with the pfSense and the other VMs, Dynamics need to be run continuously. Because of that, don't switch on all the VMs at once, because once you are working with pfSense, you need to work with Windows XP DMC PC and the pfSense VM. So you need to switch on only those two VMs. Don't switch on all the monitoring server and Windows XP inside. Don't do that. Then it will use more RAM, and the performance will decrease of your computer. So always use whatever the needed devices only. Okay. So when you work with the monitoring server, you don't need to switch on Windows XP DMC, or even maybe firewall also not needed, but firewall you can run, no problem. So what I ask you to do is, depending on the scenario, try to identify what are the devices that need to run. In the devices, in the sense, I'm talking about VMs, not the routers and switches. You don't want to close that one. So only required VMs are need to be run on that, needed for only for that scenario. So don't switch on all the VMs, because we are using 8 GB memory. Okay, I hope you can understand the scenario. Um, so if you don't have any issues with this setup and the VM setup, um, we can go with the pfSense introduction, but not the configuration. Okay, configuration will be done after the lunch break, but brief introduction has been prepared for you with some slides to give you an overview of the pfSense and the overall idea. So I will wait another 2 or 3 minutes to resolve your any network issues or the VM issues. So if you do not have any issues with the VMs, we will continue with the pfSense introduction, and we will go with practicals after the lunch break. Okay, so if you have any issues with VMs, let us know. Okay, Mr. Damayanth has asked a question from where can I find the VMX? And actually, I previously showed it to you. Okay, I will show it again. So when you visit our workshop page, um, yeah, it is actually in the okay, after you go to the download page of the VirtualBox, it is here, extension pack. Okay, there is a all supported platform, so you can download from it here. And even I showed you how to import that one. After you download, you go to the tools and preferences, and here extension, and you can add it here. After you download, select that one and open, and it will be added here. Okay, I hope it is clear now. Okay, guys, I hope the problem that you have faced with the VMs are now resolved. If you still have any issue, you can forward them to us. So if you don't have any issues, we will continue with the PFSense setups after the break. But before that one, Mr. Dushmant will give you a brief introduction to the PFSense within the next 15 minutes. So then it's straightforward. We can go with the configurations after the lunch break. So if you have any technical issues that with the VM or Dynamics, you can resolve them while you are having the break. So I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Dushmant. So he will give you a kind of overview and induction to PFSense. I believe most of you are familiar with PFSense, but if there are any beginners, the introduction of the PFSense will become some beneficial for them. So I'm going to hand over the session to Mr. Dushmanta. Mr. Dushmanta?
Yeah.